Well, hello there. This is Zen on Cross, as is usual for this YouTube channel. Hopefully no one else records on this YouTube channel. That would be kind of weird. But, hey guys. Yeah. I know it's been a long time since my last upload and this one. In fact, a really long time. But, yeah. I mean, things happen. Things change, and you have a lot of stuff to do. You have classes, you have college, you have money, you have a lot of things. So, I'm finally free again to do something like this, and, well, here I am. Today, I'll be bringing you some MechWarrior Online. Those of you that don't know what that is, it's basically just an extenuation of the MechWarrior game series, which goes all the way back to the DOS era of computing, which is very old. So MechWarrior is a very, very old franchise, owned by Microsoft, believe it or not. But this game was not produced by Microsoft. It is currently in active development by Piranha Games, and it has been licensed to them so that they can make an MMO. Because the MechWarrior games were more of a single-player / internet multiplayer kind of game. Like the old days. Kind of like Doom, I guess. The original Doom, not New Doom. New Doom is a whole different thing. Yeah, so basically it's a tank. So we just have different kinds of tanks. You have their sizes. They all walk on 2 legs. I don't think there's any that walk on 4 or more yet. I don't think they have any plans for that, but that would be kind of interesting. So, as tanks go, you have your bunch of, like, weights / classes, I guess, where you have your light to your heavies. But in MechWarrior, there are 4 classes. There's lights to your assaults. Assaults are probably the heaviest and do the most damage. Heavies are like they carry the most amount of shit with them, so that they can do the most amount of stuff. But they don't necessarily pack quite the same punch, and they aren't meant to stand next to somebody and shoot them in the face for an hour. But it is what it is. So I've been trying to record this game for like a very, very long time now. So I'm hoping that this recording isn't going to die like the last one. So, we're going to play it a little bit differently than I have for the last time. We're going to choose this mech because I kind of want to play this mech. He's kind of interesting. He's a medium, so he's relatively fast and does a decent amount of damage. You'll see the interesting part of this when we go in. Yeah. So, this game works in a very interesting manner. In quick play, which is the method which I choose to play, there's a bunch of methods to play that I won't go over because there's a lot of stuff to do there. But when you go into quick play, you get to vote on your map and your game mode, along with you and the 23 other players that will be playing the game. So I picked a certain map that I liked, and I picked a game mode that I liked, and we happened to get it this time. It's pretty random because, 23 people voting against me, basically. So, yeah. Usually, that process of getting into a game takes much, much longer, so I'm really happy it didn't. But, yeah, so we're in game, and these are all the people in the game. It's a lot of people. We're trying to kill these guys, because we're an assault. So we both have a base, basically. We have a base, they have a base. Technically, our job is to capture the enemy base, but except what's going to happen is we're just going to fight to the death. And once one entire team is dead, the other team wins. If for some reason they happen to capture the base instead, they can do that if they want, I guess. Usually doesn't happen. Usually the teams fight to the death because it's a little bit faster. And I guess more nicer, friendlier, I guess, because they'll fight and for honor and stuff like that. So yeah, so once we get in, we'll be doing some fighting, hopefully with the team. Hopefully the team will play like a team and not like a bunch of lone wolves. believe it or not, this ready status actually doesn't change anything. That timer waits until everyone connects and then goes to 10 seconds regardless if everybody's readied up or not. So, interesting concept. But yeah, so this game is really interesting in that there's a lot of HUD going on. So I play in the first-person perspective because I don't like the third-person perspective of this game. But for games like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, I actually like the third-person perspective. It's just something about this game that makes me not like it. So yeah, so I'm in my tank. He's got some weapons. He's got two really powerful weapons called the PPC. I actually don't know what that stands for. Basically, it's a laser. You'll see what it does in about a second. And he has an arm cannon that shoots like a shotgun burst of like pellets, huge pellets, like 50 caliber balls at people. Yeah, so that's how that is. This mech is kind of like I'm gonna not do that. Is like, because there's a guy shooting at us, and I would like to not get hit by that. Is like a mid-ranged, really high damage burster. So hopefully we can get in that kind of range and not die.
Target acquired.
All right, so there's a guy. All right, so that was a shoot and a miss. But yeah, that is the PPC weapon. Unfortunately, my shotgun is attached to my left arm, and obviously the way tanks work is my left arm
New target acquired.
is a little bit, wow, I'm really bad, is a little bit separate.
New target acquired. Warrior incoming missile.
I don't know where that missile's coming from, but we should be okay. I don't know why this guy's standing here and letting me beat him up like this.
Critical damage.
Ooh, not good.
Incoming missile.
I might be dead very, very quickly. Yeah, I'm dead. I would like to know where my team went. Because, you know, team game. Oh, they're just standing in the base. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what's going to happen is I'm just going to leave this match, probably. We'll spectate a little bit, but nothing too crazy, because it doesn't seem like we can go back to that guy, because that guy's just going to die. Yeah, so there's some fighting going on here.
Acquired.
I don't know why they're rushing the base like this. This is a very interesting plan. Yeah, so this guy's probably screwed now at this point.
Right arm destroyed.
Now he's in a Warhammer. Yeah, there he goes. Yeah, so games happen to be pretty random.
25%.
Sometimes your team will like do team things, and sometimes people disconnect. Like you see the yellow guy on the minimap right there. Yeah, he's just disconnected in the middle of the map for some reason. Yeah, so we're probably not going to win this because we already lost 5 people, and they lost no people. So, like, yeah, so this guy's trying to do some stuff by basically trying to make his opponent overheat by using a flamethrower. Didn't seem to work. Yeah.
Online.
Yeah, so we're probably just going to leave this match because that was a very quick death, which is unfortunate. I was too far forward, and my team wasn't there to back me up. It happens sometimes. So unfortunately, I can't use this guy again because he's dead out there in the battlefield. I can't recover him because the battle's not over. It's one of the few things that I really don't like about this game because it kind of punishes me for playing the game, almost. Because, like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm just going to switch to this guy because I like playing this guy too. So we're going to go and try to find another game. Hopefully it happens relatively quickly and I don't get the same team. That would be nice. We're going to try this map. No, we're not going to get it. So, yeah, so that happened. But we're going to try again, and hopefully it'll be a little bit nicer of an experience this time. So, funny enough, once you vote on something, you can't change your vote. Which I guess tries to incentivize making your vote count. But except you can't see the percentages beforehand anyway. So, yeah, I don't really understand the point of that. Because if you pick first, then it kind of dicks you over. And if you pick last, it kind of dicks you over too, because you could pick a map that nobody else has voted for, and you were picking between two maps, and you were just hoping that people were picking that map. But whatever. Game design choices are not necessarily something I should be commenting on, I guess. But here we are. So we're in a different place with a different mech. This mech has a few more weapons than that mech. They're not quite as powerful as the PPC. They are just what's called medium lasers, which gives you medium damage. They shoot relatively quickly, not super fast, but fast enough. They have decent range and don't make a lot of heat. So the way heat works in this game is if you shoot things, your mech and the gun get really warm. So obviously when things get really warm, it can cause damage to things. Please don't run into me, sir. When things get really hot, they can cause damage, and you don't want things to cause damage, so your mech will turn off when it gets too hot to cool down. And obviously, you don't want your mech to turn off ever at like any point, because if it does that, then you're a sitting duck. And that's obviously not preferable in any sense of the word. Yeah, so some mechs have these things called jump jets, like that, and you can kind of just fly. We're gonna try to get some shots on these guys.
New target acquired.
Target spotted.
Yeah, so as you can see, my weapons are a little more well-rounded in this version. In this mech, I have decent range and just not quite as much up front. Like, instead of shooting a shotgun, I basically have like a normal assault rifle. It's not that I don't do damage, I just do slightly less damage. But anyway, the way these lasers work is I kind of just want to keep them tracked on my target for as long as possible, because the longer they're on them, the more damage they'll do. Unfortunately, the more of them I shoot, the more heat it generates, and as you can see in the bottom right, my heat is going up. And you might have heard that extra sound. That extra sound was my anti-missile system firing, which is also a bunch of lasers. Okay, I guess I wasn't fast enough. Oh, I'm dead already. Cool. Fun times. These are probably the worst games I have ever played today. And that one wasn't even my fault. Yeah, so the anti-missile system basically shoots down those things that were flying at me. Except it couldn't do it because I was too hot, and I didn't know that I was locked until I had overheated and I had died. In fact, I don't think they were shooting missiles at me. They were probably shooting missiles at the other guy, and they picked a different target. I have a feeling this game will go a little bit faster, so I guess we'll just spectate this one. This guy is in an assault mech, and as you can see, he has weapons that do a lot more upfront damage than mine. Because that's his job. His job is to stand in the front and brutally murder people. All of his weapons jammed, so he's not doing too well. Yeah, he's definitely not doing too well. The game's pretty evenly matched, though, so it's interesting. So this guy also has a lot of weapons because he is also in an assault mech. I don't think we're going to watch him because he's kind of sitting back in the back. We don't have a lot of team members doing much of anything, actually, at the moment. Just kind of running around. Oh, here's a fight. So we have two light mechs fighting each other. Just killed that guy. Don't really know how, but he did. So we have just light mechs running around, you know, doing scout things and fighting other scouts because they're not really powerful enough to fight any of the big guys unless they can, like, surprise them and get in their back where their armor is weaker, like a normal tank. Because, you know, the tank isn't supposed to be running away from other tanks. So here's this guy. He's walking around doing things. Here's another guy with the same mech, different loadout, but doing similar things, just walking around. So it looks like there's a fight going on. That looks like it hurt. In fact, it killed that guy. Yeah, so, man, that is unfortunate. He's really jamming those things. But good news, 6-4, so it seems like our team has the upper hand. The reason we're going to wait this one out is because I would like to continue using that mech because it's one of the better ones I have.
Critical damage.
It's very unfortunate that I died when I did. So there's another guy down. This guy's getting shot in the back.
Acquired.
So this guy has advanced zoom, which is really nice. Really sucks when things like that happen though, when an explosion goes off and it turns your torso, because then it makes your camera glitch like really far. Interestingly enough, we're having 2 light mechs fight a medium mech right now. So obviously they're using their much faster speed to their advantage. Unfortunately, he was able to get one of them. Their opponent has overheated though, so they can just stand behind him and just beat him up because he can't really move. He's going to attempt to run away now, but he doesn't really have anywhere to go because he's in an open field. So that's unfortunate. This is an interesting fight that's going on. Okay, he just shot his missiles for some reason, which have an arming range, so they didn't arm, obviously, so I don't know why he's still shooting them. So he's firing some pretty hefty weapons into this guy who has no arms and probably no weapons left. Finally got rid of him. This guy is walking somewhere. Where that somewhere is, we'll never know. This guy is also walking somewhere to some place that we don't really know.
Target spotted.
There's a target spotted. Let's see if we can find somebody that's going to be fighting that guy. Found him. Yeah, so found the other guys.
New target acquired.
Hopefully the team will come and help him because he definitely needs a little bit of help. He's got 2 people. But he does have the weapons to deal with it. That's an issue, though. Because he definitely has to watch out for those missiles because they will hurt him quite a bit at this distance. That guy doesn't look like he's doing too well at this point. But I'm pretty sure he's going to be dead very soon. Oop, he lost everything but his medium-ranged missiles. Killed him, though. Unfortunately, he also died. But we have a very close battle, 2-3. So there's 2 of them left and 3 of our guys left. The enemy mechs are badly damaged.
Target destroyed.
They should have went with windows. Unfortunately, they killed somebody, and we took somebody with them, so
Target
they
acquired.
swapped. Unfortunately, 2 of the slowest guys against one of their semi-fast guys. I don't know who's left. Yeah, semi-fast guys. So this is not a very advantageous fight for my team, unfortunately. They definitely have the firepower, but the other guy is definitely faster. The good news is they're not very injured. So they were able to win. They beat him, and interestingly enough, the game takes a second or 2 to figure out that, oh yeah, they won. Totally. Yeah, so I'm not very good at this game, if you haven't noticed. So, I mean, look at that. We won, and my pilot skill rating stayed the same. Interesting, huh? So that should tell you how not good I am. I generally do better, but except I have been playing for so long trying to get a recording that it just hasn't been going very well. So we're going to try again. Hopefully it'll be the last time, and hopefully I can have a win for the first video. If not, oh well, that sucks. But I'm not necessarily the best, nor am I trying to say that I am. So it doesn't really matter if I win or not. I'm just here to provide entertainment. Whether that entertainment is good or funny or not is up to you. Well, I guess it's up to me too, but you know, I can only do so much. So, as is expected of this game, we're going to wait a really long time for this to come up. So while we're waiting, I guess I'll tell you some things about the story. So the way the game works is there's two main warring factions. One faction is called the Clan, and the other is called the Inner Sphere. The Clan and the Inner Sphere are both human, sort of. Map. Let's do this map. Cool, we're not gonna get the map. All right, maybe we will. Who knows? But the Inner Sphere and the Clan, they're both humans. They split up because at some point in the past, I don't really know the story all too well. I haven't played the games in forever. They split up so that the Clan wanted more power and stuff, so they left the galaxy. I believe it's either they left the galaxy or they left like the local cluster of systems. I'm pretty sure it was galaxy. So they left the galaxy to go become more powerful, and rude that one day we'll come back. So they left to get strong, and get strong they did. They built some of the most powerful mechs in the game. Their technology increased crazy, so they are very powerful, technologically advanced and everything. They're just crazy warmongers, basically. And those guys are the clans. There's 6 clans or something like that. And then the Inner Sphere are the people who chose to stay, because why leave your home system when you don't have to? There's, I believe, 6 factions or houses within the Inner Sphere as well. They do their thing, and they own, most of the Milky Way. Eventually, well, they war amongst themselves, obviously, and so do the clans out there in the middle of nowhere. And then eventually, for the clans are like, hey, we're coming back. And come back they did. So they came back and started fucking up some shit. So the Inner Sphere were like, hey guys, the Clan are a bigger problem than our differences. How about we go and fight those people? And then the Inner Sphere guys were all like, yeah, sure, let's do that. So the current war is all the Inner Sphere factions versus all of the Clan factions. And that's the story. I don't participate much in the story. I just play the game because I like playing the game, because I think MechWarrior is a very fun and interesting game. Personally, I prefer the other games to this one, but this one is the newest, and thus being the newest is the most accessible and up to date and probably most interesting to play, I guess, by that respect. Yeah. So all of those factors combined, here I am playing the game. So, you're probably wondering, well, what's the difference between the Clan and the Inner Sphere then? So the mechs. The first mech I played, the Uziel, is an Inner Sphere mech. The mech I played the second time and this time is a Clan mech. And you'll notice that the main difference is one had a yellow HUD and the other had a blue HUD. There's more differences than that, believe me. Clan mechs generally tend to have better weapons and better loadouts, tend to be a little bit faster and a little bit slicker. Not necessarily more heavily armored or anything, but
Target spotted.
a little bit nicer, I guess we'll put it that way. I guess luxury. Whereas the Inner Sphere mechs are a little bit tougher and a bit heavier, and thus obviously the advantages are mixed between the two. So generally speaking, Clan mechs are considered a little more powerful than their Inner Sphere counterparts, but they're different classes in and of themselves, so much so that it's almost impossible to compare them. I can't hit that guy. He's just out of my range. There's a guy rushing us, question mark? No, he jumped down. So, yeah, we're on like an upper level. There's like a lower level. Yeah, he's down there. So we're just going to use our height advantage on our opponents here and open fire on guys like that, and hopefully not receive any returning fire from anyone like that. Okay, so he's still locked onto me, so that's not nice. So I'm just gonna sit back here and chill until that ends. Is that guy actually behind us? No, he's underneath us still. I wish the minimap would tell us a little bit better. I don't know if no, I cannot hit that guy from here. I think I just shot a friend. Whoops. So I'm gonna move forward a little bit.
New target acquired.
Gonna open fire on that guy. I'm getting shot at, so I'm gonna back up. So back up I did. Yes, that guy's shooting at me, but he realized I was shooting at him first, so he backed up, which is very nice. I might be able to hit him. Just thread the needle. I'm not really threading the needle. I'm apparently just shooting through an artifact. Let's open fire on this guy some more. He sees us, so let's stop shooting at him because he's going to start shooting at him. And he's going to start missiling us. That's okay because I have this tube in the way. So, yeah, as long as the tube's in the way, we're good. So obviously we have similar limitations to like real tanks. And those limitations are obviously our torso faces, our weapons face a slightly different direction than our legs do. So I can move backwards and forwards while turn to the right and other such directions. Where is that shot coming from? That's coming from like, oh, over there.
Warning, incoming missile.
All right, I'm getting missiled from afar.
Warning, incoming missile.
That's okay because they shouldn't have hit me, but one did somehow. That guy would like to laser as soon as I can. I think I'm going to go join the rest of the team at this point, and I will probably take some fire on my way over there, but that's fine. Because it'll be worth it, because the sooner I'm with the team, the more I can help them, because this mech is a bit more supporty. It doesn't do an awful lot of damage, but it has the laser anti-missile system, and it's really good for me to be with the team because those people will be the people taking more missiles, and the more missiles that I can shoot down, the more I'm doing my job, I guess. Let's call it my job.
Target destroyed. New target acquired.
Okay, so that guy hit me for a lot of damage. We just took out a bunch of guys real quick, which is really nice. So I'm going to try to close the gap on this guy. Because I want to surprise him with a little bit of damage that he won't be expecting. Like that. Alright, so he wasn't expecting that, but now he is. Hopefully my team will be willing to open some fire on this guy. Cool. So I'm probably going to die at this point because he's just running at me at this point. Alright. I overheated because somebody's shooting missiles at me, which is not cool, so I died because I didn't realize somebody had missiles left. So that guy is in an assault mech, question mark, or a heavy mech, so obviously it's just better at fighting somebody at close range like that, but apparently my team didn't care enough to shoot him fast enough to kill him. So, granted, the only guys I see over here that can do any damage is the guy we're currently watching, so it was basically one versus that guy, because all of the other guys are light or medium mechs, and they just don't do a lot of damage. I don't know what he's doing right now. It doesn't seem like a really good idea. It's kind of how you take a lot of damage for no reason, because he could just stand back there and not move, because, yeah, so he's dead now because he overheated, because he was too busy shooting his lasers, but he didn't really have a choice. He was too close, and he didn't have anywhere to go. So there we go again. There's another guy down, so there's only one guy left, but luckily he's close by. Although he has an ECM, or electronic countermeasures, which jams people's radars, so we can't detect him very well. Wow, he got somebody. Good job, that guy. Because he's basically surrounded, but he still got somebody, so it's pretty good. Or that guy was just basically dead from before, so we're going to stop watching this guy, because he's not in the fight. Yeah, this guy's just screwed, honestly, at this point. Yeah, he was just perfectly surrounded by at least 6 people, basically. So there was nowhere for him to go, so he just fought until he couldn't anymore, basically. So, yeah, so that's MechWarrior Online. It's an interesting game. I am very tired. This game is incredibly frustrating to play for long periods of time because you just go through cycles of like winning a bunch of games and then just losing a bunch of games, and then usually losing the games is because your team isn't very coordinated. So like what'll happen is, in their case, the reason their team lost is because they were too spread out. There were too many people too close to us and too many people too far away from us. So what happened is we killed the people that were too close to us and then selectively killed the people that were trying to snipe. So their team just wasn't coordinated properly enough to beat our team. It almost had nothing to do with the fact that our team had better mechs or their team had better mechs. It was just because they weren't coordinated. And unfortunately, every single player on their team can't control that. Because if their team just stuck together, they would just turn into a glob, and then we would do this. We would just sit really far away from them and just shoot and basically snipe them until they lost. So, granted, if our team was cooperating, but who knows? So it's a very fun game to play when you're not very angry. When you're very angry, it's a very not good game to play because of that reason. Because sometimes you can just end up surrounded by 4 people because your team decided, hey, we're going to walk around this building this direction, but not tell anyone. So that happens. Granted, telling other people isn't always possible because they don't always have a mic. And in my case, I can't talk to them and to you at the same time. So that's a conundrum in and of itself. But I'm just bad, so I'll die a lot. It happens. But, it happens. Whatever. So, that's MechWarrior Online, and I'll probably bring you some more of this game. But, if you liked the video, leave a like, and if you didn't, leave a dislike. I don't know what they call it, the thumbs down thing, whatever. I'm pretty sure it's just a dislike. So, yeah, let me know if I should be making more of these or less of these, because the only people that can tell me that is you. So, yeah, that's about all I have for today. So, thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you later.